but if this escalates, it seems to me the only one who will get hurt is Henry.
I like how he has a heart, like, the heart to the heartless at this point. Oh, she's gonna do it. No! No! I just... To put it in short, I just despise myself at times. You can all feel free to laugh at my pain because this is my own doing. Poor choices of words that will kick me up the backside. I'm a clown. Plain and simple. Let's roll the intro. Hey everyone, it's Liam Caddison here, and we're jumping into some Once Upon a Time as we enter episode number 8 of this season, following a very tragic ending to the last episode, where we said goodbye to a character that, I pretty much liked. And, his death at literally the hands of Regina was, I would say pretty crushing, but I'm not going to be a victim of poor choices of words once again. I had enough of that, realizing what has already been said regarding Graham's attitude to Regina, which I'll touch upon in a minute. But it was a pretty devastating blow, not just to me, who, like I said, I was liking his character, but also to Emma, who was beginning to lower her walls and then hope to get snatched away from her. But the pain didn't stop there. Like, the pain continued after the episode, where it was pointed out that I made certain comments that were pretty much relevant in the last episode, regarding Graham's interactions with Regina being the heart to the heartless. And you know what? There's been several occasions. I'm one day going to see a compilation of me using unfortunate wording, and then something happens to kick me up the backside, like the Half-Blood Prince reaction in Harry Potter. That's a really, really recent and infamous one for me. It's not the first time, it's not the last time, but I just felt 1,000 face palms when I realized what I said in episode 2. Like I said, it was pretty devastating to lose Graham, and I'm really interested to seeing how the dynamic is definitely going to how we're going to explore the dynamic of not just Emma's character as a whole, like I said, that hope snatched away, but also her interactions with Regina, considering things got a bit feisty between the pair of them in the last episode. So yeah, but I'm really curious to see what this episode does entail. I'm really loving the show. Every story has just been really, really interesting, and it's captivated me so well. So I'm excited to check this episode out. So with that said, let's jump into episode number 8, I believe this is, of Once Upon a Time, season 1. Let's go.
Lower the age again, Papa.
Take her. She'll ride with me.
These guys don't like him. Oh, ambitious, but
It is the reason why sheep's wool repels water.
It stinks. If there was a reason you called the sheriff's department, if you want to talk about that quickly or outside.
Outside.
Express my condolences, really. The sheriff was a good man.
Too soon. It's too soon still.
That's the thing about children. Before you know it, you lose them.
Oh, that's gonna pay some relevancy to the backstory.
Good loses, good always loses. Good has to play fair. Evil doesn't.
kid.
She's evil. This is probably best. Don't want to upset her anymore.
Oh my god, my heart.
He knew what he was doing. He freed this office from your leash. You're not getting it back.
Actually, I just did.
Stepped away from your pull.
Miss Swan, you're fired.
What an asshole. What a... Yeah!
How few people study the town charter?
The town charter?
Well, it's quite comprehensive. And the mayor's authority? Well, maybe she's not quite as powerful as she seems.
Oh, let's work against the system.
The man who ran.
Uh-oh.
Is this your boy? How old
Oh
is he?
no.
What's your name?
I'm Balfire and I'm 13.
When's your birthday?
In 2 days' time.
Kids, no.
Did you teach him how to run as well? You asked my price. Kiss my boot.
He's just gonna humiliate him like
Kiss
he
my
deserves
boot.
it in their eyes. Oh, this is really heartbreaking.
Give me whatever you can spare, and I'll find a way to be your benefactor.
Kind of like what Mr. Gold said.
Everyone deserves to feel safe in their own homes.
Is he going to be the reason
That's why
how
Sidney Glass is my choice for post of sheriff.
Thingy turns
This man has
sinister?
put the needs of term candidate is applied loosely.
No, it's not. It requires a
Ooh.
vote. And guess what, Madam Mayor? I'm running.
Fine. So is Sidney.
Oh, poor Sydney.
With my full support. I guess we'll learn a little something about the will of the people.
Oh boy.
Yes, we will.
Then perhaps, instead of controlling the power, you need to take it.
Oh boy. That's how he's gonna turn, isn't it? I'm just waiting.
Never underestimate someone who's acting for their child.
He's not her child. Not legally.
Know who's trifling with technicalities.
Oh. Damn Gold with that fire.
Yes, Miss Swan, there's a debate. You two can
Well, it
talk
could be-
about jail time.
It'll probably
TV
be better
records,
than the whole Trump Biden
and maybe
situation,
even your
right?
new association with Mr. Gold. He's a snake, Miss Swan. You need to be careful you get into bed with.
I'm not getting into bed with anyone. I'm just fighting fire with...
Woo! Okay.
If I own that dagger, I control the Dark One. If I kill the Dark One with the dagger, I take his powers.
Oh, there's a bit of Rumple of the
God,
Rumple we
Snape.
know
Imagine me with those powers.
and
Can you
fear
imagine me with those powers?
coming out there.
I could get to redeem myself. You look at that red in the sky. That's not the fires of the battlefields. That's the blood of our people, son. It's the blood of children. The blood of children like you.
This show has a really
Sane
good way
person
of
will want to get involved. with that.
dialogue, of showcasing
true.
great dialogue. Is she? Or is she just gonna like? Yeah, I was gonna say she's gonna get help.
No time after that, because that is what decent human beings do. That's what good people do.
She's got a point. Could learn a thing or two about Emma. Just saying. Compassion goes a long way.
Enough.
Regina,
I'm fine.
nice shot of the victim.
Oh boy. So. Power's his. Ooh.
My wife is friends with Regina, so
Oh, right. How is Catherine?
good.
Oh.
She's meeting me here later.
That's wonderful. Well, I'm all out of posters. I'm gonna go get some more.
Oh!
Zoso. I summon thee.
No, it's not a good idea to do that. He's behind you, isn't he? Oh no. There you go. Oh?
It's you.
Wait, the...
You're the beggar.
Yeah!
You made a deal you didn't understand. I don't think
There
I'm
we
gonna
go.
do that again.
You told me to kill you.
My life.
No! Stay! You have to tell me what to do! Tell me what to do!
Here he is. The Rumpel we know and... Oh. The Rumpel we know and fear is here.
Tragedy has brought us here, but we are faced with...
Support me in this race, but I didn't know that that meant he was going to set a fire. I don't have definitive
Not
evidence,
dirtying her hands.
but I'm sure.
But this is it. She'd rather be genuine and... Oh. That smug leech. Oh.
Tree party?
Well, you'll have to tell me what that's like.
Congratulations.
Oh. It kills her to
Sheriff
do this,
Swan.
doesn't it?
Wait. What?
It was a very close vote, but people really seem to like the idea of a sheriff brave enough to stand up to Mr. Gold.
Are you joking?
She doesn't joke.
Kiss my boot.
It sucks. Have a taste of your own medicine. Holy. Ah.
Protected what belongs to me. And I'm not scared of anything.
Here he is. No longer your father. Oh.
And I'm afraid saving old Regina's arse from the fire just wasn't going to do that. We had to give you a higher form of bravery. They had to see you defy me. And they did.
No way. There's
knew.
no way you planned that.
Everyone's afraid of Regina,
He's smart.
but they're more afraid of me. But such a sheriff, I'm sure we'll find some way for you to pay back what you owe me.
Oh, get out of here. Just get out of here.
Congratulations.
I have a lot of feelings with Rumpel, and it's... It's haunting. Because, like... There's a lot of areas he could go towards. Like we saw in his backstory, he was a really passionate father who just wanted to protect people and, you know, had a lot of fear going on in him. And then he shifts into this sinister character. And I feel like this episode kind of has a blend to who we see in Storybrooke, because he's not as sinister as he was in the Fairy Tale of Events, but he still possesses that sinisterism, but more normal. There's a more normality aspect about him, and it's just so scary with his character because he's ahead of the game, as he just said there. Event with the fire, that was a big catalyst, but it was important to see what kind of choice she would make. and the event of her being a hero, it wasn't going to do it. It was what she would have to do in response to that, to her being a hero, finding out that this was all down to him and her option to be honest. So ahead of the game, and I just am fascinated with his character so much. But this show as well, but like his character. So yeah, I really loved exploring that story, especially just having a little bit of backstory regarding Rumpel and how it's so interesting, because I always thought that the sinister character that we got, especially in the fairy tale events, was always his life. He was always this sinister, and it was really nice to see how he had that cowardice, but he was a loving father, and someone who was willing to protect his son at all costs. And yeah, it was just really, really good to see how power became such an influence for, like how that became a big focus on not just the fairy tale events, but in Storybrooke as well, and how Emma and Rumpel took, I feel like, different ways. Emma, like, had the option to either rat out Mr. Gold or not, and she chose to do the honourable thing. And Rumpel did whatever it takes. It was just really good. Like, power can corrupt, and there's that aspect of magic has a cost, which it's really interesting to see Rumpel echo that from Zoso, because he did say that in the I think it was episode 4. Or was it 3? It was episode 4. No, it was really good to see him echo that, and yeah, it was just really, really good. I had a feeling that beggar would turn out to be the catalyst to Rumpel's turn, because you were just expecting, okay, well, Rumpel at the minute is showing this more kinder approach, this character who's not sinister compared to Rumpel we know and love. And as well, I say love Thea as well, but like I said, Robert Carlyle does a really, really good job at showcasing that sinisterism, that it gets you really, really captivated by his character. And as soon as he said something about, I can be your benefactor, same with Mr. Gold to Emma, I had a feeling this was not, like, Zoso was going to definitely turn him into, or be an influence to him becoming the Rumpel that we know, love, and fear. And yeah, it was a really, really good transformation in terms of, like, showcasing how that power can corrupt. And it was just really great to see how that linked to Storybrooke, and how Mr. Gold wanted Emma to confess. Same with Zoso, he wanted him to kill. He wanted Rumpel to kill him. So there's those nice parallels that's going on, and this show does a really good job at showcasing parallels, whether it's echoing a sentence one character said, or the nice story touches. They do a really, really good job at that. But yeah, I really liked this episode. It was good to explore about how you do have a choice in terms of, do you remove a part of yourself, so because you're that desperate to attain power that you're willing to sacrifice a bit of yourself in the aspect of Rumpelstiltskin, because he that normality that he had slowly turned into a sinister trait. Like, he was more sinister, rather than that was his personality. Now he was a more sinister, creepy individual, rather than the cowardly but loving and caring father that he was. Do you remove a part of yourself in order to attain all the power, or do you stay true to who you are, know your limits and know that whatever it takes, I'll do it, may not be advisory. You still retain who you are by doing the right thing and knowing your limits. So I really liked exploring that aspect of this episode, and how Emma knew her limits. She her benefactor was a concerning individual, and like I said, she had the option to roll along with what she knew that Mr. Gold did. Like, even though he didn't confirm it, he was like, hypothetically speaking, say I did cause the fire. No, she knew what was going on and knew that Mr. Gold was responsible for this. And she could have rolled with it. She could have still been the hero, and like, in the people's eyes, and I saved Regina, and no, she chose to be honest. And what I liked, though, is, like, there's that nice little touch where Sydney was like, I will show these traits of honesty and care, and that strength that goes along with it. What Emma does is she actually demonstrates those traits. What Sydney states, Emma can actually offer right now at that moment, and that's what she did. So I really like that touch. But like I said, Emma could have rolled along with it, played, still been the hero in the people's eyes. I mean, she still was with what she had to say, but she could have rolled along saying, "Oh yeah, I saved Regina," but she chose to be true to herself, knew her limits, even as she had a shaky, or shady, should I say, benefactor. She knew that certain lines were crossed, and she didn't want to ignore those lines being crossed, and chose to be more true to herself. And that's what Rumpel didn't like. He wasn't true to himself, and he lost himself to becoming this more sinister, creepy individual that we know today. So, well, not in Storybrooke at the minute, but the fairy tale events. So I really, really like that. But like I said, Robert Carlyle does a really, really good job. Like, whereas I feel like the Mr. Gold incarnation is like a blend of both versions of Rumpelstiltskin, you can he really does a good job at differentiating all these different takes of Rumpel, from the loving father figure that he was in this episode, to the sinister character that is pretty much infamous in Once Upon a Time, to Mr. Gold himself. He does a really good job at easily differentiating the different incarnations of his character. And I really loved the touch when Zoso proposed the idea of what to do regarding the dagger. You could see he was becoming consumed with that power, and there was a bit of Rumpel that was coming out there and then. He was being consumed, obsessed with this power, and power led to that dark path that he would eventually take and turn into the sinister character that he was. So he does I've seen people talk about how good of an actor he is. He really is. And I'm really glad that this episode had the spotlight on him, so he could showcase he showcased his acting talents anyways throughout the show, but this gave you a greater spotlight, and he took advantage of that really, really well, as well as the writing behind him as well, because, this could have been Emma saying, sticking the middle finger up to the character who is really shady and concerning and want to keep an eye out for. But this is what they still had Mr. Gold win at the end of the day, because he wanted Emma to solidify her place as sheriff by confessing. He wants to make sure that favor goes through, and Emma stating the truth is kind of that's the nail in the coffin that he needs. So there is that was really, really impressive. How he still, like, how Emma did win at the end of the day, but Mr. Gold won as well. Yeah, I really liked that. I also liked showing a bit of the grief following Graham's death. Henry, notably, because he was. I feel like there were parts of Emma that was reluctant to take the sheriff's job, especially weeks after Graham's death. And she, like, there's a lot of weight on her shoulders with the prospect of taking over his position, especially since them two were looking to have a thing before he. But Henry showed the most heartbreak in that episode with how he felt hopeless. He lost faith. He said, villains always prevail because they don't have to follow a code, whereas heroes pretty much do. And it was really good to see Emma show for her to reignite that faith in Henry. So yeah, I really liked that episode so much. It was really good. Regina still being cold, but I really love her characterization. Especially with the prospect of her showing that ungratefulness to Emma despite saving her life. It was just really good stuff. But yeah, I loved this episode so much. It was you felt so. I really liked the idea that you could feel so much to Rumpelstiltskin. I'm really intrigued to see more story come out from characters like the Queen. Because especially regarding Snow White and what she did to her and everything, I we've already felt a bit of sympathy regarding the Queen anyways, especially back in episode 2. But it's great to have sympathy for Rumpelstiltskin, especially since he was being bullied by those guards and made to kiss his boot. And not just that though, but with him being shamed for what he did for running away, you do feel so much for him because he does want to be there for his son. He does want to look out for him, and there was no denying at that moment he was a loving father figure, and then that dissipated when he took the power of the Dark One, and but yeah, like I said, it was a really great episode. I really loved how, like I said, the transformation of Rumpelstiltskin going from this kind, heartwarming character, like him going from that character to what to the sinister character that he becomes. It was a really well done transformation and a really good exploration about how power can corrupt and how some people resist that to maintain their integrity. It was just really good, and awesome episode. So yeah, I will see you guys next time. Hope you guys enjoyed this reaction. You can check my videos on the right if you want to check out more of my content. You can also subscribe to my media feeds and channel if you want to. Hope you guys enjoyed this reaction. Hope you guys take care, and I will see you guys next time. Doodles!